What is up, everybody? Solomon here. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. Once again, we have a gigantic, not even day-old document. This is from August 25th, 2001. First and foremost, I want to give a gigantic shout-out to Buddy Love at B. Smirnoff on Twitter. This individual reached out to me essentially talking about identity, stating that he had done some research and decided to privately invest in the company Identity, and he received a very interesting shareholders letter back. This is dated today, August 25th, 2001. So again, really huge thank you, buddy. This is awesome. All right, so we can see here Identity, ASX announcement, 25th of August, 2021. Patent and intellectual property update. Identity is progressing its phased growth strategy. Now, if you are not aware what Identity is, we talked about them in my previous video. I will link it. Talking about XRP being utilized in tandem with Swift messaging for all of these payment mechanisms across the board, for all of the member banks that Swift is potentially involved in, because we also know that Identity partnered with Trace Financial to update all of Swift's messaging capabilities for ISO 20022. Gigantic stuff, and that patent just came out, I think, at the end of last week. All right. Patent and intellectual property rights. Identity is progressing its phased growth strategy. Now, if this doesn't give you confirmation as far as where all of this is going, I don't know what will. Highlights. Identity filed patent applications in several global jurisdictions in August 2015. I touched base on that at the early end of 2020 that talked about XRP and Ripple. We just touched base on it again as far as earlier this week or at the end of last week was concerned. That patent was approved in the United States in December 2020, then granted in April 2021. And the company recently filed additional claims or continuation claims in August 2021. That is what we just presented, that August 2021 document. Identity's unique intellectual property offering leverages global demand for systems that capture faster, complete, accurate, and detailed transaction information. Identity has built the foundations for its global ecosystem for financial information, developing a platform that ingests, transforms, and securely shares payment data. The Identity growth strategy is multifaceted, centered around commercialization and expansion of its platform, then leveraging the patent to create its own ecosystem, leveraging the patent that we just went over. 24th of August, 2021. Pleased to provide that this patent and intellectual property update, it has been motivated by recent public discussions about Identity's patent and the company's desire to update investors on its growth strategy and the critical role its intellectual property plays in it. This update was motivated by recent public discussions. At Cryptonym, the dude that helped find that initial patent, that found that newer patent, the updated patent, bro, I think that you finding that and us presenting that literally led to this investor update, just as a heads up. Identity's been motivated by recent public discussions about Identity's patent. Okay. Identity filed patent applications in several global jurisdictions in August 2015, continues to pursue these approvals. December 2020, our patent was approved in the United States and then granted in April 2021 as part of a wider IP strategy. The company recently filed additional claims or continuation claims in the U.S. in August 2021. We kind of briefly touched on that before here, but really down here is where it gets really juicy for us all. As detailed in our most recent quarterly update, the Q4 fiscal year 2021, company is actively pursuing several strategic initiatives to monetize our patent, which include expanding our U.S. patent coverage through additional continuation filings, direct commercialization of our patent with partners, indirect commercialization of our patent through licensing, and the potential for enforcement, including infringement litigation. The addressable market for Identity, whatever the unit of value that needs to move, for example, dollar, euro, yen, XRP, or Bitcoin, it all needs to move from one account to another. At the same time, there is an ever-increasing demand for these transactions to be processed in real time. For this demand to be met, faster, complete, accurate, and detailed transaction information needs to be captured. Incredibly, much of this is still done manually, as there is no way for data to accompany the payment message. Whatever the unit of value that needs to move. For example, dollar, euro, yen, XRP, or Bitcoin. It all needs to move from one account, quote unquote, one account to another. In 2016, Identity conducted research together with Swift and learned that of the nearly 7 billion transactions sent across its network that year, 8% were held up because the legacy technology and outdated messaging standards used by both sending and receiving banks did not allow them to also send transaction information, costing them $27.5 billion. The process inefficiency is now being resolved. The global financial industry has begun to adopt the new ISO 20022 standard as the payment messaging language of the future. Now, we did a document that I did a couple of days ago from the individual that used to work with Ripple, one of the top 7 data scientists in the world, that talks about from the internet to the interledger. And there was another tie-in from the IEEE, I believe, where it talked directly about ISO 20022, not just being about updating payments messaging, but about enabling the use of new asset classes, which are distributed ledger technology and, more importantly, digital assets. The process inefficiency might not be resolved. It is now being resolved. The global financial industry has begun to adopt ISO 20022 standards as payments messaging language of the future, allowing much richer and structured information to move with payments, and will ultimately facilitate payments to move between legacy networks such as Swift and emerging payment gateways that operate as a closed loop platform like MasterCard and Visa, Ripple, Ethereum, R3's Corda, or any emerging payment gateway that adopts the standard. Well, guess what? Ripple was the first DLT and blockchain organization to integrate with ISO 20022. Full Swift integration is 2025, ladies and gentlemen, so we do not have much time left for this to occur. All right. Identity has already completed development on its platform that will enable the global financial services industry to overcome these challenges and migrate more than 10 billion payments messages per year across the new ISO 20022 standards over the next 5 years. Over the next 5 years aligns right along the time that Swift has to have the drop dead date for full ISO 20022 across all members, across everything that flows through Swift capabilities. Once the Identity platform is processing and transforming payment data for banks, payment networks, and financial services businesses around the world, the company's ambition is to deploy the patent it owns and connect Identity customers with its platform to create an Identity-owned and operated global ecosystem for financial information. Identity has already developed the building blocks for its global ecosystem for financial information based on its patent, creating a platform that ingests payment data, transforms the data into any... Sorry, I gotta find it up here. My bad, guys. Into any format, automates retrieval of missing information, and securely shares with internal or external parties such as regulators. Phase 1, land. The first step in our longer-term strategy is to license as many regulated businesses as possible to use our platform to ingest their payment data and deliver an outcome. The biggest opportunities for success in Phase 1 lie with OSTRAC reporting and payment investigations in correspondent banking. Phase 2, expand. The second step in our strategy is to provide more services and grow license revenue with existing customers. We are now focused on helping 11,500 plus Swift member banks migrate 10 billion payments messages per year to the new ISO 20022 global standard before 2025. Our platform already contains the required functionality to perform this transformation. I wonder how it performed or has that functionality. Found this document 2 years ago. Identity is built upon the Ripple protocol, as we know. Phase 3, connect. The final step in our strategy is to deploy our own intellectual property and connect banks, payment networks, and financial service businesses around the world to our platform, creating a global ecosystem for secure, rich financial information that enables faster processing of payments and reduces financial crime. About Identity's patent. The patent is designed to enable requests for additional information to support payments processing. pre-validation of payment information to improve straight-through processing, and real-time compliance processes for payments. The patent uses blockchain technology to generate a unique ID for payment, index important additional information required to validate a payment, generate and share enriched data about a payment, and ensure secure data sharing using hashing and cryptographic keys. And we do know, based on that patent, they do talk about settlement in XRP. The patent is designed to work with both legacy payment platforms, for example, SWIFT and MasterCard, and emerging payment networks, for example, Ripple, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and Corda blockchains. Identity has been pioneering information sharing use cases in banking since 2015. 2021, Identity was integrated with the MasterCard Cross-Border Services Network, enabling 50-plus financial institutions around the world to securely share financial crime compliance information within the MasterCard network. And if I'm not mistaken, we've seen documents stating that MasterCard is a Ripple partner. Identity is exploring additional use cases with several global brands in the payment industry to support information sharing to reduce financial crime. Interestingly enough, from Fame 21 More, XRP Darren, January 2nd, 2020. You want to see how deeply integrated Identity is with some of these institutions? Identity and R3 launched global multi-bank ISO 20022 core DApp trial across R3's global ecosystem, which includes more than 300 banks and other financial sector participants. We talked about how many messages, billions of messages on a yearly basis. We talked about thousands of banks. 10,500 plus banks, right? Is that what it said? They're talking about utilizing XRP, moving all transaction data and value from one wallet to another. They're trying to wrap everything up before the ISO 20022 final deadline SWIFT migration of 2025. I'm pretty sure we know where this goes at this point in time. Gigantic shout out to Buddy. Gigantic shout out to CryptoNim. If you want to see a couple of older Identity videos that I compiled in 2020, I will share the links below as well. That is all that I have to say, because that is all that needs said in this video. And I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening. I will talk to you later.